Whoops, makeup. Welcome back, everyone. I'm really glad to do this interview. I'll tell you, we all get headlines on our phones every day, and we see what's going on, and you think to yourself, boy, oh boy, this country just always has to kind of remind itself of the essential fiber of what makes us, our values, our character, our citizenship. And there's an organization, Scouts America, that just typifies this ever since I was a kid. Way back in the days I had horses and carriages. You weren't alive yet, but no. I'm telling you, back then we had the Scouts. I was a Cub, and I was a Boy Scout until I discovered music. Okay, but that was good. It was good at that time. This is Dennis Dugan, who's the Assistant Scout Executive. You got that right?
Correct.
Good. Well, welcome. Very nice to have you here.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
And joining us also is Tim Halladay, who's the owner, founder of Victory Mortgage? Victory Funding, mortgage brokerage company. And we're going to find out why he's here in a minute. But first, let's talk about the Scouts. I was thinking about what I was going to say coming into this interview, and that's what I think about. That in this day and age, how about an organization that's really dedicated to those fundamentals? How do you feel about that?
We have spent over 110 years now trying to teach character, values, and citizenship to the participants in our programs. And you may have heard on the news that we're changing our name. And I just wanted to clear up that misconception in that with our programs, Cub Scouts is the program for elementary school kids, kindergarten through 5th grade. Exploring and Venturing are our two co-educational programs that we do for high school students who are 16 to 21 years old. The problem that we had when we began to accept girls into the program was it didn't seem proper to say, would you like to join Boy Scouts, which is the program for 6th graders to 12th graders. So we've changed the name of just that program to Scouts BSA, but it is still a part of the larger Boy Scouts of America.
Oh, thanks for clearing that up. I was going to ask you about that because there has been some confusion about, well, why did they change their name? It's actually just a modification, and in the context of all of the other programs provided there, it just makes a heck of a lot more sense to do that. Because let's face it, if you're a girl, you want to join the Boy Scouts, you know what I mean? Right. Talk about the different, I remember badges. That's what I remember. You got a few on you, by the way.
I do.
What do you got on here?
So we in the program, we do different things. One of the patches that we're the most proud of is our council service strip, which tells people what area of the country we're from. The Twin Rivers Council covers 13 counties in upstate New York. We go all the way from southern Schenectady County all the way to the Canadian border. Great. And we go out to Fulton and Montgomery County. And Saratoga happens to be almost right in the middle. So a lot of what we do in scouting ends up being driven to the middle because it's easier to get people from Plattsburgh to come to Saratoga than to ask them to come to Schenectady or Albany.
Yeah, likewise, if you're in Schenectady, to come up here instead of going all the way up to Plattsburgh.
Right.
Or something,
so this has really become a focal point of scouting, and we do a lot of different programming. We've been blessed to hold camporees for the council where we've had 3,000 kids at Saratoga Spa State Park. And we've had reenactors there and done some amazing programming that kids remember and talk about with their friends, which helps them get involved in the scouting program.
I know some of the things you're referencing. Scott Hayden, a former person, Scott is now the president of the Adirondack Folk School, was involved in scouting for many years and a good friend of both of ours, by the way. You got quite a camp out there in Fort Anne, right?
We do. Camp Waukpomni is located in Fort Anne. We will be serving about 900 Boy Scouts there this summer for summer camp. It runs for 6 weeks. And then we also have another camp, Rotary Scout Reservation in Postenkill, where we're going to have about another 700 boys camping there this year as well. And then in our local communities, we have what we call day camps that run for 5 days.
Little ones.
And it runs from 9 a.m. until about 3 p.m. And we're doing that in 7 different locations in the council this year, and we expect about 700 boys for that.
And by the way, during this camp, these camp activities, you learn about leadership. You learn about team work, less emphasis on competition, you know, and also just that wonderful thing that the badges do. You set a goal for a child, and that child reaches that goal, and they get recognized for that. All this takes money, by the way. And boy, you know, you got to stop talking, Tim. This is just, you're just interrupting us all the time here. Tim is being honored, and this is quite an honor. And that's why we asked him to join us. This is called the Good Scout Award, and it's also a big fundraiser to help run these camps and the activities and the programs that the Scouts provide for us in our communities. Tell me, how did he get picked?
Well, there is a committee made up of business leaders and Scout leaders from the greater Saratoga area that met and said, we need to find someone who exemplifies Scouting's ideals and ask them to participate. And this year, Tim was fortunate enough to be chosen and agree to accept the honor.
You got a smile on your face for this one. Oh, you got set up.
Yeah.
You did. What an honor, huh?
It is a huge honor. Of all the organizations that I work with, and Scouting is by far, in my opinion, the one that exemplifies the character and all of those things. So it's a huge honor to be chosen.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, I know some of the reason why. By the way, you can go to our website and go to our Look at Veterans series. And we interviewed Tim, and you'll understand a little bit more about his own personal drive and his own business ethic. And it has a lot to do with honoring him with this award. You were also involved in Scouting your whole life, and your two sons went through Scouting, made it all the way to Eagle.
They did. I have two sons that are Eagle Scouts. So.
Well, you got a good honoree here.
We do. We're lucky to have him. The event is going to be held in Clifton Park. It is at the Garden Inn, and
it's next Wednesday, right? Is it? It's
next Wednesday, correct?
Yes, May 30th, next Wednesday, 6 to 8:30, at the Hilton Garden Inn in Clifton Park. It's a big fundraiser for Scouts, and all that money, by the way, that they raise stays right in our community. And if you've ever been over to Fort Anne and seen that camp over there, you'll know what I'm talking about. But also all of the other camps around the community for the young ones, for the Cubs. It's just really something. Well, you know, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
It's quite an honor. And thank you for taking the time to come in.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. And boy, think about that. You have a child, you have a grandchild, you have a young one in your home, someone that may need a little guidance in their teen years. I can't think of a better organization than Scouts, really. So great to see you.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. It's good to see you. Congratulations
Thank
to
you
you,
very
by the
much.
way. You can see this interview again, by the way. You can go to our website, looktvonline.com.